What is going on, YouTube fam? Welcome to the Jonathan Dearman Show. And in today's video, I just want to bring some clarity on the meaning of democratic socialism. With the rise of democratic socialists like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the term democratic socialism has been on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. But what is democratic socialism? And how does it differ from standard socialism? Well, before I answer those questions, I just want to throw it out there that while I definitely have an opinion on whether or not democratic socialism is a good or bad thing, in this video, I'm not going to share my opinion. I'm simply going to define what it means. I do, however, plan on giving my honest thoughts of it in a future video. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. All right, well, to shed some light on all of this, the first thing I want to do is define what standard socialism means, and then I'll tell you what adding the word democratic in front of it changes. Now, there are a lot of details that I could give to define this, but instead, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. Also, it's important to note that the reason why it may seem difficult to find clear definitions of democratic socialism is because it very often depends who you ask. There doesn't seem to be a united agreement on what exactly it means. Because of that, I'm just going to give you the most general and widely accepted understanding of democratic socialism, even though some people may define it with a few slight variations. All right, so let's start with standard socialism and the purpose of it. So the ultimate goal of socialism is to eliminate the various economic classes. For example, instead of having a lower, middle, and upper class, everyone would fall into one large middle class category. And this is theoretically accomplished by having a system of social organization in which private property and the distribution of income are subject to social control. In other words, people that are wealthy and have a large income will have much of their goods and income forcibly redistributed to people with a low income in an attempt to create wealth equality across the board. In this utopian vision, the rich, the poor, the full-time worker, the part-time worker, the business owner, the employee, and etc. will all have a similar level of income and goods. Essentially, income and goods aren't largely based on performance, but primarily on existence, believing that there are certain things that do not need to be earned, but are basic human rights. And the attempt to satisfy these basic human rights and create economic equality could be enacted in a variety of ways, such as giving control of production, distribution, and exchange to the community and society as a whole. Also, raising taxes on the wealthy, providing free college, job guarantees, a universal basic income, free healthcare, and housing for everyone would likely be a part of a socialistic society. In short form, socialism is a political ideology that advocates for a redistribution of wealth and goods in society to balance the scales between the rich and the poor. For example, if Joe makes $100,000 a year and Tim makes $20,000 a year, the goal is to redistribute their incomes and goods in various ways to ultimately make them as equal as possible. That way, instead of Joe making $100,000 and Tim making $20,000, they both could make around $60,000, which should be enough for most people to live comfortably. Okay, so those are the basics of socialism. Now, what's the difference between socialism and democratic socialism? While some people assert some variations between the two, overall, the basic ideas, systems, and policies of the two remain the same. The main difference is not in how they function, but in how they become a part of a nation's economic system. Socialism is often erupted from an authoritarian government that makes the decision to redistribute the people's wealth regardless of what their opinion is. On the other hand, democratic socialists believe in what you might call socialism through democracy, meaning that although they desire socialism to be installed, they don't advocate for it to be implemented through the force of a government, but rather through a democratic process, aka voting. So it all boils down to this. The policies and ideology behind socialism and democratic socialism are essentially the same. It's the way, however, that those policies and ideologies are implemented into society that separates the two. Socialists believe that the ideals of socialism should be implemented into society by any means necessary, while democratic socialists believe that such ideals should be implemented through a democratic process, which is by the people voting to implement them. Bottom line, democratic socialists are working towards and hoping that Americans will vote our own country into socialism. And whether or not that happens is up to you. Now, with all of that being said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. First, do you think democratic socialism is a good or bad thing? And second, do you think that America will adopt and apply democratic socialism, or are you of the mindset that it's never going to happen? No matter what you think, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And as always, I'm going to be responding to all the comments that come in on this video. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our videos. And lastly, if you like this video or if you like what I'm trying to do here, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that like button because it really does help. And other than that, I will see you all at the next Jonathan Dearman Show.